Nice guys are f***ing cringe. And I'm not talking about the nice guys, I'm talking about the nice guys. And a friend of mine from a couple of years ago, we'll call him Benji, was a textbook example of this. So this one time, me and Benji were out with a couple of other friends, including this pretty attractive girl who was new to the group. So we all went up to the bar to get some drinks, but this girl, she stayed behind on her own. So Benji went up to her to ask why she wasn't getting a drink. She said, "I don't have enough money, so I won't be drinking tonight." So Benji, being the selfless human that he is, pulls out a $20 note and says, "Here, it's yours." And she says, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to be paid for a while, so I won't be able to pay you back." And he's all like, "No, you can have it, it's fine." And he literally forces the note into her hand. She's grateful, of course, but she kind of looks more confused than anything else. It's maybe not the reaction that Benji was expecting. Now, it was obvious to all of us that Benji was not doing this out of the goodness of his heart. He had an ulterior motive. He wanted to sleep with her. But either way, nothing ended up happening between the two of them. Then a couple of weeks later, we're all out again. This time, the girl has brought her new boyfriend. We'll call him Carter. Now, we didn't know Carter that well, but it was obvious he had more of an alpha type of energy about him. And of course, when Benji found out about Carter, he was pissed. He started going off on all these black pill rants about how all girls are the same and that she's probably going to cheat on him. But this whole situation raised some interesting questions. How come this girl had picked Carter over Benji? Benji had literally been super nice to this girl. He'd shown her loads of attention, he'd given her compliments on the way she looked, he'd bought her gifts, but in the end, she'd gone for another guy. But there was something about Carter. Carter was different. Carter realised that women aren't stupid. They can't be bought with empty compliments or even literal money. Carter realised that this fake nice guy attitude turns women off. So what was his strategy for attracting this girl and other hot girls like her? How come he was getting picked over all the little nice guys? That's what I'm going to share with you today. My name's Tom and I help young men just like you with their self-improvement journey. So that includes things like leveling up your confidence, attracting more women and building your dream body. So if you're watching right now, it's pretty clear that you're interested in those things. So scroll down, click the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. It's a win-win for both of us. I feel like guys have this skewed perception of romance and relationships from like films and the stories where the girl picks the nice guy over the jock. And what inexperienced guys will do is they'll see that type of behavior and they'll copy it, but it's lacking all the sincerity. Now, I'm not saying don't be a kind and friendly person. I'm not saying to not have general human decency. Can you really call yourself a nice person if you're only acting that way because you want something in return? You just want to sleep with the girl. That's not being nice. That's a form of coercion or manipulation. These guys will pull shit like that and then go online and start hating on women, turning themselves into the victim, just because they're not stupid enough to fall for those tactics. If you're watching this video, please don't be one of those guys. Please don't be Benji. Because the truth is, the guys who actually get girls are not being overly nice to women. They're not showering them with insincere compliments. They're not giving these girls free, worthless validation. These guys get women by having self-respect, by not being afraid to be their own person in front of these girls, regardless of what they think. So here's how to stop being a nice guy. So this video is going to be a two-part strategy and solution with actionable steps that you can follow along with. So the first thing we're going to be focusing on is the internal. We've got to address why you might be feeling a bit inadequate, like you might not actually be worthy of this girl's affection. Why you might be feeling like what you can provide just as yourself isn't good enough, so you have to kind of compensate for that with all these fake good deeds to win the girl over. And for a lot of guys, the root of that is not feeling physically attractive enough. As guys, you've almost been sold this lie that it's good enough to just be yourself or to have a fun personality or there's someone out there for everyone. It's all bullshit, because no matter what your teachers told you, looks are everything. If you're below average in terms of looks, if you're a pretty unattractive person, there's a lot of people who won't even pay attention to you. It fucking sucks, but it's true. And if people are treating you like that, no wonder you're probably struggling to find a relationship. So I say this every video now, but I promise you it's for a reason. The best thing you can do to become more physically attractive is getting in shape. That means lifting weights, doing cardio, all of that. And you might be thinking, yeah, but that's going to take a long time. Surely there's some things I could do which are quicker and would make me look more attractive now. And you might be right in saying that, but honestly, in my experience, fitness should come before everything else. In the past, I would focus way too much on things like style, picking the right clothes, but honestly, everything gets better when you start putting on muscle. All the clothes fit better. Having a good body automatically puts you in the top 30% of guys, because think about it, the average man is fat and out of shape nowadays. That's going to give you such a competitive edge. And then another concern you might have is, what if I get fit and then I still can't talk to girls because I haven't been practicing? And again, that's a valid concern. That's something that can only get better with experience. But honestly, I'm I'm being truthful here. A lot of girls make it very easy for you when you're good looking. If there's a strong attraction there, it almost doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth. Whereas if you really try to get better at talking to girls and working on your social skills before getting fit, it's still going to be somewhat difficult if you're a bit ugly. Whereas if instead you decided to really work hard on getting better at talking to girls and leveling up your social skills, it's still going to be somewhat difficult because you're not as attractive as you could be. So really it makes more sense to become physically attractive first. In regards to the type of look that girls are into, go and search up the V-taper physique right now. It's scientifically proven to be the most attractive body type. And if you want to learn more about optimizing your looks for the female gaze to attract more girls, go and watch my recent video on which muscles girls find the most attractive. So next we're going to talk about some external factors, things relating to your actual interactions with these women. And talking to girls is something that can be very anxiety inducing for a lot of guys. Honestly, it can be hard enough to just hold a woman's eye contact, let alone have a romantic exchange. And when it comes to this, I have some absolutely crazy advice for you. This is going to really catch you off guard. You won't be expecting this. When it comes to interacting with women, you've got to learn to treat them like regular people. Not goddesses, not sex objects either. Literally normal fucking people. Right now you might see girls as this kind of weird and alien thing. Something you don't really understand. That's a bit intimidating. But what you got to realize is that girls are just as flawed and disgusting as men. Girls make just as many mistakes as we do. Girls literally shit and fart and do all the disgusting things that we do. This has to get through to you. They're literally just normal people. You don't have to treat them any different. And I heard this amazing quote that sums up the whole thing perfectly. If you treat her like a celebrity, then she'll treat you like a fan. So instead of viewing them as this higher being, or if you've been watching a lot of red pill content, something to be conquered, at least do women the dignity of treating them like normal, regular people. So something that I've become very good at in the last year is calling out bad behavior in like a non-emotional way. And if you want to become better at not just talking to girls, but socializing in general, then I think this is something you should be practicing. So an example of this is there was this group of girls that I used to hang around with in university, and I swear to God, literally all they would do every single day is just sit around and talk shit about random guys, like all the time. So one day I had enough. I straight up told them, not in an aggressive way, but I was firm with it. I said, "You're being horrible about these guys, and you talking about people behind their back makes me not want to be around you." I just told it as it was, and of course they looked a bit annoyed. Like, if you put someone on the spot like that, they are going to be a bit uncomfortable. But because I had the balls to actually call them out on it, they stopped doing it, at least when I was around. Now, I didn't have anything romantic going on with either of these girls, but that's not really the point. The lesson here is to be more disagreeable. Don't be this docile human who's afraid of telling people what you really think because they might not like you. In a dating context, that's like the guy who laughs at every joke she makes, even when it's not funny, or pretends to be interested in all the same things she is. That is not sexy, and every time you do that, that makes the girl lose respect for you. It makes you seem like this bland, uninteresting person who doesn't even have their own personality. Don't just agree with her because she's a girl. Treat her like a real person that you can have a real conversation with. Like, if you agree with her, just say it. Like, she's not gonna lose respect for you in most cases. Like, the bare minimum that can do is make you seem like an actual person, that you can actually stand up for yourself. And practicing that, not just on girls, but in general, is gonna make you a much more attractive person to be around. So that's how I think we can move from being a nice guy to an actually nice guy. Honestly, I used to be a bit of a nice guy. Like, I was very needy around girls and acting in a bit of a cringe way. Like, I was the fucking where's my hug guy. I gave a lot of girls the ick back in the day. Feel free to share some of your nice guy stories in the comments, whether you're a former nice guy or maybe a current nice guy. There's still hope left for you because you watched this video now. Or of any nice guys you know, like my friend Benji from the story I told in the beginning. But that's all from me today. Stay sharp, stay ahead. I'm out.